going on, y'all? Car Cash here, and I just jumped off the porch with Dirty Glove Bastard. You see it?
I got bread to get a hoe to hit a brand new place to be. I got head to get a hoe to flip a brand new face to ski.
All right, so we got the one and only Car Cash jumping off the porch with us today. Welcome, bro.
Thank you for having me, man.
Yeah, no problem, man.
It's a pleasure.
Yes, sir, man. I appreciate you, taking out the time to pull up on us today, too, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, man. First off, how we feeling today?
I feel good, man. Shot a video yesterday. Shit was crazy.
Yeah.
I'm blessed. I feel great. It's a great day. The weather's getting better. It's like 70 degrees in February. I can't complain for real.
You couldn't live like this in Brooklyn, right?
Nah. It's definitely like 14 in New York. I'm cool.
Man, yeah. Me and you both got the short sleeves on today.
Feel me? Like I'm great today.
I love that, man.
I can't complain.
I had to dig deep into the closet to find a t-shirt too, man.
As soon as I opened the drawer, it's just like, all right, boom. I don't even got to put on no jacket, no nothing.
Nothing, man.
Yeah.
No, that's what's good, bro. So you want to shout out your people sitting back there with you too?
Yeah, man. I got Mad Mart to the left of me. It's my boy Mad Mart, artist, producer. We work together. He's from out here. My brother K Wells, big CYN shit. These are the people that probably gonna see me with.
Okay.
Rest of my career. It's more people, but these two are like top two.
He said top two.
Top
man,
two,
now I ain't gonna piss off the other ones.
Nah. I mean,
they know what it is.
Yeah, we all be in different spaces in different places. I love everybody the same way though, but
it is what it is. I dig it, bro. So man, let's go ahead and just dive into this shit, man. Yeah. Born and raised in Brooklyn. First part, what part of Brooklyn are you from, man?
So East New York, right? Like my grandmom, she still owns this house in East New York. I kind of grew up there, but I was flip-flopping around. Like my dad is from Bed-Stuy.
Okay.
So I could claim that if I wanted to, but I don't be claiming it because I got real friends from Bed-Stuy, and it's just like, bro, I didn't go to school with y'all. I didn't. You feel me? Like I'm not gonna do that. I'm not that type of guy. But yeah, like I'm just a Brooklyn nigga. Like at the end of the day, I'm good in every section of it. Like, but I claim the East.
Okay. So, I'm sure you've been all over the country, maybe even the world at this point. So what do you feel like you can find in Brooklyn that you can't find anywhere else, man?
Damn. Just the culture. Nah, chopped cheese is some uptown shit. That's not even some good shit. It's like culture, bro. Like, the craziest thing about New York, every borough has a different type of culture. So I feel like beyond Brooklyn, it's just, in New York, you can't find a certain type of culture because everywhere has culture, but in Brooklyn in particular, it's just like the way we do things. Like, that's really the most unique thing I would say to me, being from Brooklyn. Being so many different places in the world, it's just like, nah, it's shit not like back home. You feel me? Like, or corner stores, shit that's open at 4 a.m. for you to get something to eat at. That shit is like, bro, it's like a diamond in the rough. You can only go to maybe 4 or 5 places in the world where you can just get up anytime, go to the store on your corner. It's a store on every corner. It's just like, so that stereotype that you hear about New York being like, oh, it's corners on it's a store on every corner. It is, and they always open. Just don't never close.
So what's the difference between the culture, say, in Brooklyn and Harlem,
Harlem is more like Brooklyn is more of a gritty, we got like gritty culture. I would give Harlem credit for having like a little bit more wavy, like laid back, chill culture than Brooklyn. Like Brooklyn is like Annie up. Like, you feel me? Like niggas is rowdy. And Harlem is Max B, like I'm on some calm shit.
Yeah.
It's you got a little bit of both in, each borough, but it's just like Brooklyn, you're gonna get a lot more grit. You're gonna get Harlem.
And what about the Bronx then, man? Bronx is
gritty too. Yeah. Bronx is just Manhattan grit. Like Brooklyn is Brooklyn grit. Bronx is just uptown gritty. They like twins.
Yeah.
It's the same shit. I kid you not. Brooklyn is just flyer.
Brooklyn's flyer. You stamping that?
Yeah, I'm standing on that. Definitely.
I dig it, man. So talk about your upbringing. Like, what were you into as a kid and all that shit, man?
Really, bro, I was just like tech and art. I played sports when I was young as hell. Like, I played football for like 1 year. I did not like that shit. I hated
hit one good time.
I hated it, bro. I had asthma. Like, I remember one moment vividly, bro. Like, we had practice. My coach had us doing laps and shit. I'm like, yo, I'm about to have an asthma attack. Bro, the whole team was like, me too. The nigga was like, everybody do 5 more laps. I ran off the field. I'm like, yo, Pops, I'm not doing this no more. These niggas gonna let me die on the field and all that. Like, bro, I don't wanna play no more sports. Like, I'm cool. So really, it's just like, always art. I knew how to draw from young. I learned how to rap. My older cousin, he kind of taught me how to rap. My uncle had this studio in his basement. Like, he gutted out a basement. He used to live in a basement, like up the block from my grandmother's crib that I actually grew up in. So that whole block is like, I grew up on that whole block. I would go to my uncle's house, 7, 8 years old. These niggas is up. Everybody older than me. I'm the youngest nigga in the house. I'm up at 2 in the morning trying to learn how to use Audacity and Mixcraft and shit like that. You feel me? And then he finally got a Mac. He was the first person I ever met with a Mac. He had an iMac. Got introduced to GarageBand. So it's like all my nights, I'm just up 3, 4 in the morning. Mind you, I'm 9 years old. At this time, I'm like 10 years old. I'm learning how to just fuck with the music. I think it was probably like 2009. I edited a documentary.
God damn.
I used to record everything that was going on in the house. I just edited a documentary, burned it on a CD and everything. I remember he had placed it like somewhere like up high in his basement. I'd never seen that CD again. Like, I don't know what the fuck happened to that CD, but it was like my first real creation. But it was really just music, art, and tech. Like, I was a little tech nerd. Like, I knew how to do everything, bro. I used to code MySpace pages for niggas and all types of shit. You feel me? Like, and at the time, MySpace is out, and I'm only 10. So it's like, I'm coding pages for niggas 18, 25. Like, I was just into shit like that. And then going outside, I ain't gonna lie, I was kind of bad as a kid, though.
Like getting into trouble type shit?
Yeah, I used to be getting into stupid ass trouble, like, for no reason. I used to be stealing bikes and shit.
God damn.
Like, just doing shit. It's like, why
Did you have your own bike?
Like, yeah, like, bro, you got a bike. Why are you doing this? Shit used to just be fun. I'm happy I changed my ways. I could have been a product of my environment.
Yeah.
It'd been a totally different interview.
Huh.
Yeah, I probably would have been dressed different, had a gun on me, mask.
What do you feel like steered you away from that then?
I got the chance to escape later on in life, like linking up with all my bros from CYN. Like, we all have a common uncle, and he had came home from jail, and it was just like he took all of the boys in every summer, and he just got us all away from our homes. Was all able to just, see better than what our environments, allotted us. So it was that, for real. Like, if I didn't see that, I always had this vision of like being bigger than where I came from, because I seen so many people come from where I come from and become products of the environment. Like, as I'm growing up, everybody else that's older than me is growing up as well, and it's just like, damn, it's not really amounting to much for a lot of us. I was like, I don't want to really go down this path. I know what this path looks like, you feel me? Like, I always had the talent. Everybody always believed in me, so it was just like, all right, let me believe in myself. It's something that I got here from young. I made my first song when I was 7. Like,
that's it.
You feel me? I traveled from Brooklyn to the Bronx with my older cousin that taught me how to rap. I'm only 7 years old. And we didn't get back to Brooklyn till I was like, till like 2 a.m. But I had a burnt CD. This is how long ago this was. I had a burnt CD with my voice on it. I didn't give a fuck how much trouble I got in. I got in mad trouble when I got back home too. Like, I got home, my mom's is black and my pops is black, and I'm on punishment, all types of shit. I'm like, where's the CD player? I don't really care about
I just
nothing.
want to listen to
I just want to hear this shit, because this is me. From there, it was just like, I don't want to do nothing else. Like, and I already had dreams of being a rapper because of what I kind of grew up seeing, so.
Yeah.
But that's really what kind of took me from like, all right, it's more to life than just, us being here and doing this. It's fun out here, but it's just like, I know something got to change. I got to be the change that I want to see. And I knew that from young. I always been a little bit ahead of my time. Like,
yeah. And were your parents real supportive of you chasing after that music dream then?
Yeah, like from jump, my pops had a copy of the CD. I don't remember how he got it.
He burnt his own copy?
You feel me? Like, he might have took my copy because I was on punishment. Like, he had a copy of the CD. He used to go around, like, anywhere he went, he's playing that motherfucker. So anytime I'm around him and his homies, they like, yo, we heard that shit. Like, you going crazy. Da, 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 da. I'm 7. So it's just like, nah, yeah, y'all fucking with this shit. I got something. And as time progressed, like, I'm getting into more studios. I'm becoming better. My wordplay is different. Like, I'm a student of the game. Like, I grew up studying shit like Big and Hove and not taking likings to Nas because I'm a Jay-Z fan. Like shit like
Shit was
that.
real
You feel me? Like, it was
serious,
real, and I'm from Brooklyn. It's like, bro, I don't listen to Nas, bro. I don't want to hear that. Like, until I got older, it's just like, oh nah, this nigga was nice. Illmatic, you made that at 19? Damn. But it's just like, as time progressed, Pop's just always been supportive. My mom was supportive too, but you know when you get older, it's just like, shit not working as fast as people think it may work. Like I used to have like run-ins with my mom. Like, yo, you sure you don't want to do something else with your life? I'm just like, nah. Pops, on the other hand, he like, nigga, I asked him for a job one summer because he used to run this roller skating rink in Cali. I'm like, yo, Pops, can I work for you for the summer? He's like, no, you got a job. Do it.
Oh, shit.
I was like, nah, you 100% right. From there, I was just like, fuck it. He always like instills that in me. Even getting to this point in my life, he just every day like, yo, you got it. And I'm right here, like.
Yeah.
So they've always been supportive. Like my mom, you know, she's always been on like the fence just a little bit. Like, yo, you getting older, like, what you gonna do? It's just like, it's working. You see it. You feel me? Like, it's working. Come on.
Yeah.
Cut me some slack. Pops though, he like, yo, what we doing? You got to make sure you talking to this person. You got to make sure you're gonna tap in with that person. Use your resources. So it's just like I've gotten great support throughout my years.
Did your pops rap too?
Nah, my pops
Okay.
he was a street nigga. Like he was just like one of Biggie's homies from the streets before Big was like, you know, fully into rap, and they was just all Junior Mafia together. That's how they kind of tied in. My dad is a behind the scenes guy though.
So yeah, with him witnessing all that shit,
feel
I'm sure
me?
he's like, bro.
It's like, bro,
I've seen it before.
And I seen one of the greatest of all times. Like he was able to change our lives. Like my dad is just a friend, you feel me? So it's just like, for this nigga to go so big, nobody's even thinking that y'all can go this big. He's able to change all of y'all lives. And your life has still changed because of him to this day. And he's been dead as long as I've been alive. So it's just like, my pops is like, nah, nigga, I got homie. My pops is cool with Hov. My pops is cool with mad different artists. So it's just like, for him, he like, nah. I see niggas that didn't have nothing you had growing up. Make something, and you're just as good as them. Yeah. If not better. I'm not letting you give up on this dream. Hell no. And that should be all the fuel I need a lot of the time.
Was he sharing crazy stories with you about like him and Big in their days and all that?
More so like before rap, like it's like hood shit. I don't even know if Big was in all the stories, but Pops used to be sharing stories with me about like how they used to surf buses back in the day, like just be doing crazy shit, be in the projects playing corners and they punch the fucking elevator lights out and it's just like everybody getting beat up and just telling me stories about the tunnel. He's like they got into it at the tunnel one time when he was younger. I think it was the tunnel. Nigga said he got into it they all got into it with a security guard. One of the security guards like stomped on his chest. The nigga said he came home, it was like a big ass Timberland print on his shirt. Like, Pops be telling me mad stories, his childhood and shit like that. Like, he got a lot of legendary stories. And he always reminds me of the stories that I was a part of. Like, when I was a kid growing up, he had me around Little C's and Little Kim and them. So, like a lot of the shit that I might not remember, he'll remind me like, yo, you don't remember using the studio with Hov when we was recording this? Or you don't remember you was at the Hot Boys video shoot with Missy and Nas and Kim and da-da-da. I'm like, nah. Word? He like, yeah, like I used to have you in all these spots. So for me, it was just like, rap was just like, nigga, this is what I know, this is what I see, this is really what I want to be a part of because this is what I kind of grew up in until it kind of like shut down for some time. I didn't really understand why I was removed from that for so long until I got older. And I got the chance to realize like that same uncle I was telling you about earlier, he had gotten into some shit, Hot 97. They had caught a fag case, he got locked up for some years. So it was just like all of that shit kind of like withered away, but none of the kids really understood what happened. Yeah. So when he came home and we got older and we all started like, he got us back together. By this time, I'm like 12 years old. So I'm getting older and I'm understanding, like I'm getting a chance to see interviews and YouTube is around and you can just go through shit and understand the history. I'm like, oh, this is
you start doing your own research.
You feel like, oh, okay, this is now I understand y'all story. Cause as a kid, it's like, I didn't really know what questions to ask. It's just like, you was gone for a little minute, now you back. My pops has always been in my life. My pops wasn't gone, but it's just like, yo, where Uncle Rock at? Like, why he not? They'll be like, oh, he in jail, da 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 da. It's just, you get pictures and shit like that, but it's just like, I don't really understand why he's there. Why is he there for so long? I wasn't really inquisitive like that, so I didn't really get the chance to get them answers until I was old enough to kind of do the research. And it's available, like it's public knowledge now. So it's like, oh, now I understand what happened and how we, got it back together.
I dig it, man.
Yeah.
And did you end up going to college right after high school, or did you
Right
take
after,
some
straight
okay.
after.
Yeah.
Kid you not, like, I was ready too. Like, being born and raised in New York, I kind of got tired of it because I was at this point, I've seen so much outside of where I'm from. It's just like, I gotta make sure I get up out of here. It's college, I have another opportunity to go explore the world. Like, I'm gonna take that opportunity. Like, scholastically, I'm not really tripping. Like, school to school, I don't really give a fuck about that. I wanna go get the experience of college, whatever it is. So the first college I tried to go to was Hampton University. I didn't get accepted at first, so I went to Delaware State. And it was necessary. Like, I didn't really know if I wanted to go there at first, but I got the chance to meet more people from where I'm from that kind of already knew of me. We got Instagram and shit at the time. I just made more friends. The camaraderie was different. Like, I finally had got the chance to be like on some outside teenage shit. Cause when I was back in high school and shit like that, like I said, I used to escape. Like, I didn't really want to be in Brooklyn on the weekends and shit like that. After school, I would just go straight home. Cause it's just like, I was so caught up in the fact that it's so much more out there than what I know that I have to deal with every day. And it wasn't necessarily bad, but it was just like, damn. I was just in Miami 2 weeks ago on jet skis and shit, all types of fly shit. Now I'm here, it's cold. Like, I got class in the morning. Like, I'm going home. I want to just let these days pass me by. And as I got older, I understood that wasn't the right thing to do, because it's just like, it was so many things I missed out on being an actual teen in Brooklyn, because I was just so focused on where I know I could be. I wasn't really trying to be where I was at. It's crazy, but yeah.
And were you taking rap serious at that time, or did that come later?
I was a lot more timid. Like, I was still rapping. I had mad songs on SoundCloud and shit like that, but it was just like a hidden talent. Like, if you knew me, you knew. If we was cool enough, you knew. And I went to an all basketball high school. I didn't know that I was going to a basketball high school. I didn't look at the high school book or none of that. I was just like, I keep hearing about this school. I could go to this school. I'm gonna go to this school. I got there. It's just like, everybody play ball. I'm just like, oh shit, what the fuck did I sign up for? Like, so I had a little identity crisis when I first got there. I'm trying to play basketball and shit, copping the gear and all that. It's like, bro, this is not your dream, bro. Like, you just here, you trying to fit in, it's cool. After that, like, the first year, I was just like, all right, I'm not on that. I just started getting my weight up. I'm like, I gotta do what I can do. Started getting my weight up, writing a little bit more. And, time progresses, I just started getting more and more comfortable with, like, okay, I wanna be a rapper. But while I was in school, I decided I need to hustle. Like, I didn't really know what I wanted to do in high school. But I was always into the arts. I knew how to draw. I knew how to work computers and shit like that. I taught myself Adobe Illustrator, Photoshop, and all that. And one day I was just like, yo, I need to come up with a clothing line. I'm at the lunch table with some of my mans. I'm just drawing shit. My mans was just like, yo, you need to do this, that, and the third. I'm coming up with symbols. I'm like, yo, I'm about to do it like a Jesus piece, a gold brick, and like a dollar sign. And call that shit God, Glory, and Gold. He was like, nah, nigga, that'd be fire. You can put that shit on polo shirts, that. So niggas was hype. I'm like, all right, let me see if I can really do this. So I did it. And then I went to my parents. And I was like, yo, I got this idea. I just need y'all help. Like, I ain't got no money, nigga. I'm 14. I was like, I need y'all help. Something quick. $500. They both gave me $250. And my godfather, he's like into fashion. He's like a stylist. He helped me like outsource and find like people that print up t-shirts and shit like that. I already had digitized everything because I was tech savvy. So I was like, this part is easy. I just got to get everything else. And then I, started working with a guy. He printed up t-shirts, printing out tags for me and all types of shit. And I'm in school. It's like, it's 100 kids to your avail. You better figure out how to sell a t-shirt in this motherfucker. I started wearing it, I started selling it, and it's just like everybody's buying my shit. Like, I don't know where everybody was getting their money from, but niggas is buying this shit.
How much were you charged? Like 20 a shirt or?
Nah, I was taxing like 35 at the time, you feel me? And I'm making beanies, my beanies like $50. Like,
yeah,
but I'm getting the money though. It's just like one day I'm in the cafeteria, that's where our lockers used to be at. And I had merch in my book bag. My assistant principal, he seen me like making transactions, going in my book bag. It looked so sus. It looked crazy. So the nigga just snatches my book bag one day. He goes in it. He just pull out a shirt. He like, just grab my book bag back. The same shirt he grabbed, I take it from him. Just sell it to my man. And I just leave. I'm like, bro, you just in my business. I'm doing something legit. Niggas just fucking with what I got going on. So that was really my first like hustle that I took somewhere.
Yeah.
The music shit, I was like, I didn't know how to upload to no Apple and nothing like that. At that time, it's just like, how do you gotta be a superstar to be able to do some shit like that. But SoundCloud was available.
Oh yeah.
It's like, all right, cool, we got SoundCloud, we got YouTube, I'm using that. You know, but I didn't really tell nobody about it. Like, I had a lot of followers on Instagram, so like my Instagram followers knew where to get my music from, but it was quiet as kept in person. Like, I'm not even telling them. I'm more so trying to figure out how to sell these t-shirts because I'm trying to make some money.
Yeah.
And that's kind of why I went to school for business management. And I look back at it now, I'm like, I should have went to school for music, but, because it was just like, it was just a hobby, like selling the shirts and shit. Like, I was an entrepreneur early, but it opened a lot of doors for me. Like, I was in magazines and shit early. It's cool, fire shit. Like,
Yeah.
I got that, I have the level of expertise to know, like, what certain things are. I got to learn certain things about merchandise and things like that. But the music has always been like the first thing. I didn't start taking it more and more serious until I kind of got out of high school.
Okay.
Like by like 16, 17 is when I'm like, all right, we putting out music. CYN, the collective that I'm a part of and I helped found, like we all came together and was just like, we're gonna make music. And that helped me a lot too, because it's like now I'm not by myself when it comes to doing this music thing. Like I said, I was timid. Like, so now I got people that I grew up with. We all have the same goal. It's easier for me to kind of be like, all right, I rap. I'm a part of this collective. I do my own thing when I do my own thing, but this is us, and it just made it bigger than what it was. So
Yeah.
as what kind of really opened the door for me to really be on some rap shit.
Yeah, and looking back today, like how fun were those days too, man?
That shit was fun as hell. I ain't have no responsibility. Like, sometimes I be wishing, the only thing I do wish is like, I wish I had some of the knowledge that I have now back then, because I'd have did so many things differently. But the experiences and all the shit that we was able to kind of like experience, like that shit, we was having a blast. Like, we still do to this day, but it's just like, everybody older now, so we all been on some individual shit. When we get together, we CYN always, but it's just like, that shit, back then, bro, we used to be doing anything. Like anything. We don't have there's no responsibility on none of us. We just gotta make sure we could eat. That's the easiest thing in the world.
Yeah, them carefree days.
Like what?
Man.
We gotta eat. That's it. All we gotta do is eat. And we having cars. We having access to different places. Nigga, we going to Coachellas and Rolling Louds and doing all types of shit. It's just like, bro, we're having. And then people was fucking with the movement too. Like, we made good music. We still make good music, but as the collective, early on, we was making fire ass music and people was fucking with it. We making fire merch. Like, we just was together as a collective. Like, it helped me learn the importance of camaraderie and how important it is to like have different pieces, because you never know what somebody else can bring to the table for all of us. Like, and having that, like, of course you have your debacles, your back and forths, your agree to disagree moments, but it's just like, when it comes to us going out there and putting this shit to the front, having a unit was just like, yeah, this shit is, we are a force. Like, there's nobody can fuck with us. We a force. And a lot of people was fucking with us.
Oh yeah, you guys had a hell of a movement, man.
Yeah,
That's for sure.
yeah, that shit was a vibe. OD.
What motivated the move down here to Atlanta a few years ago, man?
Realistically, there's a few things. For one, my girl, she moved down here. I was like, nah, I'm out. We wasn't even together yet, and we was just dating, but I was like, nah, she's gone, I'm leaving. And I had just got out of college. We started moving like further and further from Brooklyn. Like, growing up, I used to move a lot. And right out of college, my mom had moved to Yonkers. I was staying with my mom's. We was in like a studio. Like, that shit was so small, but at the time, it's like, bro, I'm 20 years old. I can't be doing this. Like, I just came up with the idea, like, all right, we need to get the fuck up out of here. Like, we've had enough of New York. We're getting pushed further and further and further away from where we're from. It's just like, and at this time, we done lived in Jersey, motels. We done lived in Flatbush. We done lived in East New York. We done lived in Lower East Side Manhattan. I done lived in the Bronx. It's just like, all right, let's just go somewhere else. My girl was out there. I'm born and raised in New York. I'm tired of this shit. I feel like if I stay out there, I'm not, me personally, I was like, I'm not gonna see no more growth. Like, I had a big ass song out at the time. So I don't really see myself growing anymore staying here. So I just knew Atlanta was Black Hollywood, and my manager, who's also my cousin, V, was out here, back and forth here in UCLA. And he's been kind of managing, consulting me the whole time, like my whole music career from young. So it was just like, all right, you in Atlanta too. We might as well just push this line together. We could be in the same state, same place. It's easier for us to move around. So we ended up doing that. I come out here December 2019, COVID happens. Damn near a month or two later, so it's just like, he was still in school at UCLA, but classes is like remote now, so he was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna just stay out here, let's just push this shit. I'm just like, all right, bet, perfect.
Yeah, and Atlanta was one of the few cities that was open anyway.
Exactly. We was closed for what, a week?
Exactly.
So
I took 1 week off from filming, came right back to this.
Right back, everything back open, so it's just like, all right, we can still move out here. So we move in different studios, and I didn't know that about Atlanta. Like, the Porch back in New York is like a studio out here. Like, it's studios everywhere, niggas. You can meet all the people you ever want to meet in the studio, all types of shit. So we going into different studios. We just using our resources. We got a session here one day, a session there the next day. I'm just tapping in with niggas from out here, producers that I might have already known. Just being able to get studio time, finessing however we can, paying for sessions when we got to, like whatever we need to do to just keep this shit going. We did it, and then it's just like I fell in love with being out here because it was just like I can get all the work I need to get done. I always go back and forth to New York, and it's just like, it's so perfect that I moved from there because every time I go back out there, it's the most productive, lit, fun time I ever had because I give myself maybe a week, tops. Like, if it's minimum, we do 3 days, nigga, the 3 days is full. I could barely go see my family. But it's just like, they understand, like, yo, you want a mission.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it makes people from back home, like, the heart grows fonder. So it's like, I'm missing. They seeing that I'm having motion, I'm doing what I'm doing, and it's going up. So when I come back, it's just like, yo, what you on? Where you at? Like, what we doing? If I was still there, it wouldn't be the same. You feel me? It's just like, nigga, you here every day. We see you at every event, every session, so on and so forth. New York is one of them spaces and places where it's just like, the towns don't really fuck with what they got going on unless it's like a stigma behind it. Like, if it's some negativity, niggas is beefing with the next nigga, we fucking with that. We picking a side. If you don't have no beef, you have to become appreciated somewhere else in order for us to appreciate you here.
Which is wild when you think about it.
It's the craziest shit ever, but it's really like, that's just a New York state of mind. I don't know where the fuck it comes from. I don't know why it's like that, but it's just like, that's why the shit is so fucked up now out there. It's just like, we were the Mecca of hip hop. We're still the Mecca, but it's just like, so many people taking the crown from us, because it's just like, nigga, we don't even have our shit together, bro. Like, it's so much internal warfare out there. It's like, y'all don't even want to see the nigga from across the street win. What are we gonna do? So, moving out here was just like one of the best things that I've done in my career.
Yeah. And I know you and CEO Trayle have built up a crazy relationship.
My brother,
Talk about that, man.
Craziest thing is, I got out here in 2020. We actually met him in 2020. We met him in 2020 by way of my bro Warhol, and we just started locking in with him. His music was hard, so one day, V, he just kind of started like fucking with his music. He was just like, I want to put you out in the studio. I had blocked out like 8 days for my birthday. It was like my 22nd birthday or some shit like that. Trayle pulled up. This was our first interaction, like really meeting each other, locking in. And I got the chance to like realize like, oh, you passionate about this shit like I am. Like, I record a verse, you record a verse just as fast as me. Like, but you on what you on and I'm on what I'm on. Like, we night and day. But it's like our chemistry is so well when it comes to creating. And even like outside of creating, like that's my man's. Like, he was at the video shoot with me yesterday. Me and Trayle be kicking it like on some regular shit, like no music. Like, I'll pull up to his session, we don't have to make no music. He'll come to my session, he don't make no music. It's just like, that's really one of my homies out here. So it's just like, from that, off rip, we had the connection, and we made, the first song we made, Crazy. We just kept building from there. So as years progressed, we just building and building and building. That's why it's just always like a me and CEO Trayle song somewhere. As the years go by, there's always, and we got a song 2020, 2021, 2022. We might skip a year, but it's mad. Like, if we wanted to drop a tape, we have enough to drop a project.
That's it.
And we both going up at the same time. And we both like, make sure we stay in tune with each other in our careers too. Like, if I need advice from him, I'm calling him. If he need advice from me, he calling me. So it's just like, we formed a real brotherhood in you know, in rap.
Yeah.
But even outside of rap type shit.
Nah, shout out to Trayle, man.
Yeah,
He a
facts.
real one for sure.
That's a fact.
Man. Yeah. So we got the new situation with Generation Now, man.
Yeah.
Talk about how this came about, bro.
I told you we was finessing. We was in them studios, man. We was in them studios and we was just working. We was hustling like nothing else. Like this is all we got, then. We're not giving ourselves no other options, no other choices. Like just hustling and working. And 2022, I had just came off the Corday tour with my brother Nico Brim, and I had put out a single called Can We Talk? Excuse me. I had Helen Keller out with CEO Trayle, and I had this record called 07 Been out by myself. They all was kind of just doing their own thing that was buzzing. And my uncle, like he be riding around with Drum and Lake and Cannon and shit like that, and I've always been like a name that came up in conversation because they was always looking for new talent. So the name always would come up, and sometime in 2022, the conversation just got realer. Like, came up again. I think they was really looking for like a rap artist. Like they had Jack, they had Uzi, they had everybody else. They had Seti, you know, whoever else they had, and they was just like, all right, we looking for a traditional rapper. I came up again. They started listening to the shit, and Lake was telling my uncle like, nah, we want to meet him. Like whenever we could meet him. They already had heard of my name, CYN ties. I had the West out at the time. You know, I'm moving around in the street, so it's just like, it's a little bit of a name. He got a little bit of a following. Let's see what we can do. Let's see what he really has. So we went to the meeting, maybe sometime like October 2022. Sat in a meeting with Lake and Drum. It was me and V, Lake and Drum, playing music. I kid you not, I've been to so many meetings, bro. I tell everybody the same thing. I've been to so many label meetings where I've played music and niggas have piqued interest and all types of shit. This was the first label meeting I ever went to that they allowed me to play 15 songs, and it felt like I only played 4. From there, I knew, I was like, oh, nah, we might be good with this one. But at the same time, like, these niggas is on their phones. Like, some songs, they not even moving, so I'm just like, oh, man, like, what's the energy in here? So after I finished playing maybe the 16th song, Lake is just like, yeah, we want to sign you. I'm like, oh, shit, all right, that. But I've heard that before. So for me, it's just like, all right, we going to see.
Let's see this.
Let's see. I'm thinking like, all right, we going to get signed, nigga, next week. It's like, no, nigga, this shit takes time. You got to get all your shit together. You got to get your attorney, so on and so forth. But as time was going, they made sure, like, I knew that they fucked with me. So they gave me studio time. I linked up with Don Cannon. He started giving me beats. Like the first, that was one thing they said in the first meeting. They was like, yo, me and John Lake was like, me and John fuck with you. The only person you got to get past is Cannon. Cannon is the music man. Like, he's a harsh critic. If you get past him, nigga, green light. So I probably in the studio next day, kid you not, Cannon pulls up. He just walk in the room, yo, it's good. I'm like, yo, what up? Da-da-da, we introduce ourselves. But I introduced myself to him. I already knew who he was. He's like, I got some shit for you. Dropped off a beat. I'm like, I remember what they said. This is the guy I gotta impress. Cool. He gave me the beat. I kid you not, I finished that shit in 20 minutes. And it was a banger. Like, the shit was hard. So from there, me and Cannon started to build our relationship. He's sending me beats and shit. Like, we just working. I'm in the studio damn near every single day, but I'm still testing the waters. Like, I'm not here yet, but they want to sign me. But I'm still like, I'm still independent. I can do what I want still, but it's just like, all right, I'm just getting the gist of what this system may be like.
It's like a trial run.
You feel me? It was a trial run, so it's just like, all right, I'm kind of confused in the space because I've never been there before, so I'm like, damn, do I not drop music? Do I hold off to drop the good shit and wait till they start backing me? I've been doing this shit independent. I know what the independent shit is like. Like, I'm trying to get into the system, nigga. I've always wanted to be signed. I ain't gonna say like I don't want to be signed. So from like October 2022 to maybe mid 2023, learning everybody and getting the gist of the system, it's like, all right, we need to put some shit out. I started doing freestyles and things like that. And by like November 2023, I still didn't sign yet, so I'm just like, all right. But now we're getting into, we having lawyer conversations and things like that. So it's like, it's getting closer and closer. Me and my bro Maud, we ended up doing this song called Box on Her. It's a Future sample. And they just, one of the A&Rs, Willie Joe, he had heard it. And he just like, nah, I ain't gonna lie. You need to put this out right now. Like, this is one of them records. So I'm like, all right, let's do it. We was just pushing Box on Her in Atlanta. Like, that shit was going up. Just pushing it. I got freestyles out. We creating content. Like, now it's just like, all right, now I know I still gotta do what I gotta do outside of just recording songs in the studio. Like, that's the easy part. You gotta still be a rapper outside in the world so everybody can see you and this all can make sense. I'm like, okay, cool. By 2024, I was just like, all right, I got this idea. We've been doing freestyles already. Let's keep dropping freestyles to old classic beats. And that helped me kind of like partner up with so many different artists. I was like, all right, I'm not gonna drop no songs for real. I'm gonna just be on everybody else shit this year. I ended up doing it. That shit was successful as fuck. Like, I'm like, okay, cool, this shit is working. So I'm just gearing up, I'm prepping up. Finally signed my deal in July 2024. We only a few months in. And I still didn't drop no music yet. Cause now it's like, it's a little bit different. Like now you're in the system, you gotta get shit approved, this, that, and the third, which is just like, all right, cool. I'm still learning things as time is progressing, but I'm still having people drop shit, boom. Like, and it's like, every time we drop something else with somebody, it's like, the feedback is just bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. So by the time we get to January 2025, it's just like, it's so much new shit from last year's work that it's just like, all right, now it's time for us to, you know, do what we need to do. So I dropped my first single, like the introductory single, 7/11/24 in January. And last week, yeah, it's only been a week. Just dropped my first single off the project, Cash Rules. It's called You See It. Shot the video for that motherfucker.
Yeah.
It's going up too.
Yeah, talk about the feedback. Look like fans really fucking with this.
I ain't gonna lie, it's so crazy. I really was not a fan of that song. Like, I'm a rapper, bro. Like, I don't like repeating myself on records. But it's like, you in the music business. It's like, commercial records are usually the catchy records and like shit where people can, there's a drug in the song. Like, so when I kept saying You See It, it's just like, this feels so cheesy to me. Cause just like, I'm not that type of artist, but when they got a wind of it, like, they like, yo, nah, we need to put this on a project, we need to put this out. And then I had my first meeting at Atlantic. We was playing the singles that I wanted to come out. And they was like, the single that you want to push is more for like some hot season shit. Like, we in January, February, we don't want to push this single, especially if you want to drop 2 singles. This be your first single. It's hot outside. I mean, it's cold outside. We should go for this record right here. And it just so ended up being You See It. And it grew on me the more and more I had to listen to it. I'm like, nah, y'all might really know something. Like, all right, let's put this out there. And then when we put it out there, it's just like, I've been getting feedback like I've never gotten before. Like, it might not be the most feedback I've ever received yet, but it's been feedback from different spaces and places that I haven't received feedback from. And it's all great feedback. Like, we in the club the other day, the DJ don't know me from a hole in the wall. He get the record, he playing and shit, the nigga play it 10 times.
God damn.
Like, and nobody paid him no nothing. It's just like, we in the club, we got vibes with us. It's just a great time. He runs it back himself. You play it 10 times. I'm like, oh, okay, we got something with this. Niggas back from back home calling me like, yo, bro, like, if you don't push this song, like, I'm not fucking with you. I'm like, oh, it's one of them, all right. So it's just added fuel to my fire. Like, even my girl, like, she felt like me. Like, bro, I hated that song. I did not like this shit at all. It's just one of them songs. But it's usually always the song you don't like that everybody else fucks with. So it's just like, all right, I'm falling into love with it. And then doing the video yesterday, it just made it even wavy. I'm like, oh yeah, nah, this is the one. I'm supposed to be dropping again next month. I'm kind of like, yo, we might need to take this one to the max.
Let this shit breathe a little bit.
Let this motherfucker breathe. But nah, I'm going to just keep feeding the streets. We in a real quantitative market now. Like,
that's an interesting word.
I'm learning that. Yeah, like, I'm big on quality. I'll not drop for 2 years because I'm trying to perfect some shit. But it's just like, bro, the consumer now is just like, where are you at? And if you not there, there's so much shit going on nowadays. It's so easy to forget about a motherfucker. It's like, you don't want to be forgotten either. So now I'm back into a space where it's just like, all right, let's be consistent with this. If I'm in a gray area with a single, I'm dropping a freestyle. I'm dropping a content piece. I'm dropping a vlog. I'm doing something. We going outside. We being seen like we're in these people's faces. So, but You See It is out now. Tap in. That shit is fire. I fuck with it.
What should we expect on Cash Rules then, man?
Man, Cash Rules is just versatility, bro. It's just me being myself authentically. It's a little bit of storytelling. I ain't dive all the way deep into the storytelling yet because this is just like the project. This is my intro project. This is my debut project under the label. So it was more so me putting my best work together and putting it out in the world. But since we've came with the title, like I've been creating music. I'm in the studio every week, 3-4 times a week, doing 6-7 songs a session.
True.
So it's like, every time they get a new song that they fuck with, they like, nah, we might need to put this on the project. We finally closed the doors on the project.
So it's done.
It's done. We already working on the second project. But Cash Rules is just like an intro for the people that don't know me. For the people that do know me, this is like an intro to where I'm at now. Signed to Generation Now. I'm working with a big label. The budgets is clearing and shit like that. It look different. It feel different. It sound different sonically. This is the best I've ever rapped in my life. The best song making I've ever done in my life. And it's just like Cash Rules. It's a triple entendre. It's me ruling. Very simple. Then it's just like, we know without money, it's not a lot you can do out here. And then the third, cash is just synonymous to whatever you believe, like whatever you deem valuable as a consumer. Like if your faith is what takes you, everywhere, if it's your family, if it's your loyalty, if it's your art, if it's whatever you believe in, that's what cash is just a placeholder for whatever the word is in that ruling. And you get that out of me because I talk about a little bit of everything that I deem important in my life that helped me get to my point of being right here and going further.
Yeah, it sounds like you in a good space,
I'm in a
overall,
I'm in a great space, bro. It's not nothing that could bring me down but myself. And I'm in a great space because I know that now more than ever. Like growing up, last year I couldn't have told you that same thing. Like felt like I wasn't even confident enough in myself to feel this way. Now it's just like, well, can't shit stop me but God and myself. I'm not letting shit stop what I got going on. It's too good. Like, I didn't get this far to be just right here. Like, nah, we got places we gotta go. This is just the beginning for me. Feel me? So I'm in a wonderful space.
So what's some new goals you got set for yourself, since it's a new situation, man? I'm sure them goals change a lot.
Shit, definitely want to make some more bread for sure. I'm looking for my first Billboard entry real soon. I feel like I got one of those products that's just like debut. We can go digital for real, like. And I want to bring people I want to bring people in. Welcome to the bank. Come on, yeah. You slept on me for so long. This is a new goal of mine. Everybody need to check in. Everybody need to see what's going on. Like, I used to be really timid, bro. Like, I was afraid of what I knew I could become. Like I'm not one of those people that people didn't see potential in. Like I've been hearing about my potential forever, but potential is like, if you live in that for so long, then you're just that. Like, oh, you had potential. I'm no longer in a space where it's just like, I don't believe in myself enough. It's people that believe in me more than me. No, I'm not letting nobody believe in me more than me. I fuck with everybody that believes in me, and I'm thankful and grateful because y'all helped me get to this point. But now I'm at a point where it's just like, nah, everybody got to see this shit. Everybody got to hear this shit. I don't give a fuck how uncomfortable I am in the space. I don't care what I didn't want to do. I might not want to do it in this time, but I know if I have to do it because it's going to make everybody tap in, you're not going to hear my shit. You're not going to see my shit and be like, oh, nah, this shit is ass. Not ever. I kid you not ever. You're never going to have that. Maybe in 2017, when I thought that shit was it, it's just like, nah, nigga, no, this shit is it. And you going to hear it, and you going to see it. So it's just like, right now, that's really the goals for me. Like, and as a grown man, just continue to learn who I am, because that's the most important thing. And even being an artist, I feel like I used to put so much pressure on the Kai Cash shoulder. I wouldn't even be worried about my government name. And it's just like, bro, those are two different entities. A lot of people don't realize that. Like, as artists, we do have to be in character all the time, but at the same time, when you do get to take off your disguise and your costume, it's just like, you still there. You could be the rapper at home, but it's just like, that's kind of exhausting.
No, exactly. Yeah.
So for me, it's just like, and I'm a little bit older now, so it's like, I have to make sure I take care of the person. Because if the person is not taken care of, how the fuck does Kai Cash do anything? Even if I want to be on some crazy tripped out shit, like, the person has to set that up for Kai Cash to be on that. If the person is not aligned with what I'm trying to be on as Kai Cash, it's just like Kai Cash don't really get the chance to exist. So it's like, Those is really the goals. I ain't really got too much crazy ass goals. I'm trying to get a Maybach this year too.
You want the truck, or you want the Maybach truck, or just
I want
the
I want
OG?
I want the car. I need the OG. Like I'm trying to. That's one of my like materialistic goals. Like I need one of them.
I just interviewed a rapper and he said, man, lease. He said he bought a Maybach and he regretted it. So he said lease one.
All right,
So
that's what I really meant. Yeah.
keep that in mind.
Just in case I want to swap
Lease
that
one.
motherfucker out
Don't
later.
buy it. He
You
said
feel
it was
me?
the worst purchase he ever made in his life.
Shit's be devalued and all that.
Exactly,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's like. But yeah, those are my goals, man. And for y'all to tune into this Cash Rule shit is coming out. Can't drop no dates. I'm not gonna do that. But just like come. I'm gonna make y'all come fuck with me. But come fuck with me. I don't want to force y'all to come to fuck with me. But you gonna see me. You gonna hear me. It's inevitable. It's just like I'm becoming inevitable more and more as time progresses. Just kick in. You're gonna fuck with it too, by the way. That's the goal.
Yeah, go ahead and plug your social media so that you know where to check in at.
Shit, man. Everything at Kai Cash, KAICASH, on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, fucking MySpace, Next, Facebook. We still got all that shit. DSPs, Kai Cash, $ for the S. That's KAICA, $H. Cash Rules on the way, man.
For sure. You got any shout outs you want to give before you wrap it up, bro?
Man. Shout out to GN, first and foremost. Shout out to my brothers back here. Shout out to my brothers that's not here with me. Y'all know who y'all are. Shout out to the whole CYN mob. Oh, yeah.
I got bread to get a hoe to hit a brand new place to be. I got head to get a hoe to flip a brand new face to ski. All this I show me, you see it. New